Welcome back to the Daily Doge. Finally, something exciting is going on. This is Dogecoin technical analysis, and I'm using the chart from TradingView. I've been doing these videos 5 or 6 days a week, and I have a playlist if you want to see the last few days leading up to it. I've been counting a lot on here and giving people some free tutorials about how Elliott waves work, the basics of it. So let's shut off all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Elliott waves always start with 5 waves going up. Well, all waves start with 5 waves going up. Elliott was the man's name, and he noticed these patterns that gave him a lot of predicting power. So let's go to the 1 hour. So of course, as you've all probably known by now, is that we've been in a big correction this whole time, right there. So there's a possibility that that was the end, but I don't think so. We're finally getting some wave up, which is making this look a lot better. So basically what I'm doing is looking for the patterns such as 1, 2, 3, making up that, oh, oops, it's the wrong one. Thought that was a WXY. So these threes, it's been making 3s and 3s and 3s. And what I'm trying to do, 1, 2, 3, is map this out so it can make some sense for us going forward. That way we're not just looking at random squiggly lines. Okay. This might go around here. Usually these waves are a similar length, the 1 and the 3. So we might see this coming up around 41.5. For the short term, let's get rid of that. And let me delete all of these just because I don't like it when it's all clustered like that. All right, let me take a screenshot really quick. All right. So I had this drawn out for the last few days, and what I think was going on, I'll leave this one here to see if this comes up to 40. Oh, it could go up to like 42. That would be a nice round number. And what someone in the comments has been suggesting is that this is a WXY Z. If that is the case, doesn't look like it anymore. Could be. This could be, let me get rid of this. This might be a 3 wave going down, or it could be 5 waves going, no, I believe this has to be 3 waves going down. Could be like something like that. 3 waves going down, but that middle wave is too big to fit, I think, with this wave, and then this huge one, and then one more down. It's possible. I wouldn't be shocked, but that's what it might look like if it goes back down to somewhere like 16 or 15 or so. But what I was originally saying before, if this is not a WXYXZ, then what I was first thinking is that it's just an ABC flat. There's 3 waves going down. There could be 3 waves coming up. And then the last wave will either come right to where the A was, or it could go lower. And it would be convenient if it went down here to this 0.786 Fibonacci line. And I'll extend my buy zone I had my buy zone at first. I had it up here, and it dipped down a couple times. And I did get a little bit each of those times. I think I got a little bit even right there. But don't do exactly what I was doing, because I'm not a financial advisor, and then you're gonna have, if you copy someone else's trade, then you have to get out right when they get out, and that might not be possible. I'm not posting 24/7. I am posting every day, or most days of the week. So let's see if this happens. We'll see how high this goes up, and if this is not it, then this could also be the wave, the X actually. Let's go back to that WXYZ, WXY. This could be coming up, the other X, and the Z could come down here. Actually, that might be more likely than the first thing I showed. But the big ABC is still possible. So if this happens, what we're in right now could be the 1, 2, 3 up, which would be an X. Then it would come back down. And this very well might be the case, because I don't think this correction is done. So if it goes back up to around 45 and then comes crashing back down, we'll have to keep an eye. That's why trading these corrections is really difficult, because you might want to have the tendency to get out and sell up here, but then my ABC scenario might happen where it goes all the way up to 75, and you will be upset about that. So for me personally, I'm halfway in right now. I sold a little bit around 36, 37, and then 38. And then if it does come up to 45 cents, I'll be keeping a close eye on this RSI to see if it's looking like it's done, or if it keeps rocketing up here, because this is going to be tricky. Not just for me, it's going to be really tricky, because I think most people right now aren't sure, is this a WXY Z type of structure, or is it the big ABC like we showed, like this one was, a flat ABC. But WXY and then Z, those are common. Those are common. So right now, we've been in the middle of this wave, which I had a hunch was going to go up because it just didn't look done yet. And if this is making a bigger 1, 2, 3 sideways, then could be coming up here around 45 for the short term until something else happens. Or, like I showed a minute ago, that could have been X, but then this going down would be A, B, C, or WXY. That still could happen also. So how will we know if it happened or if it didn't? Well, right now this is a really tricky zone. If you're a beginner or you don't know what's going on, in this middle area right here, you could have a no trade zone. If it drops down here, you could potentially buy. If it comes up to around 75 or 70, then you could potentially sell. But in between, it's pretty confusing. So what I've been doing, well, you don't have to do what I'm doing again. I keep repeating that because I don't want people losing money and then blaming me, because Doge is very volatile. It's not like some stock that actually has an underlying asset. There's not really anything. Doge is basically a fiat currency like the dollar. There's nothing backing it up. At least all the people around the world, well, a lot of people are using the dollar. So I'm not saying not to trade. I'm just saying be realistic about the risk. Because if you're unrealistic about the risk and you're just living in a fantasy world, wishing for it to go one way or another, that's not a good, in my opinion, that's not a good way to go about it. So for me, counting the Elliott waves at least gives me some predictive power. And when I'm in the profit, then I start taking it out, and I sold some a few minutes ago. So I'm about halfway in right now because I don't want to get all the way out personally, because it might come up. This is one of my possible counts. It could come up to around 70 or 75, 74. Right around 70 is probably when a juicy trade. But if this comes crashing back down, because we are overbought right now, so it's not really a good time to buy. Look at these up here. So this one came up 1, 2, 3, and that third one was a good sell opportunity. This one was even better, but that was sneaky because that was very hard to count. But you see how these on the RSI, it went down, 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 but it's going. The first one started here, up, up, up. So these were the sell opportunities. You could have started selling a little bit there if you had come in around 15 cents, which I did. Ooh, I did sell a bit there. Too much, unfortunately. Sold a little bit more there. And then I'm not sure if I caught that last one, but that was pretty close up there, right at 69, 70 cents. And so, but you don't want to be buying on those necessarily, because those are the signals that it's going to come down at least temporarily. So right here we've got it coming up and coming up again, and we'll see if it comes up one more time and goes up to around 45 or not. 43 maybe, 43 cents or so. Might overshoot it to 46, something like that. But if this comes all the way up here, then that would have been my trade from down there all the way to up here. That is fantastic. That's double. That's more than double. That's triple. 25 cents, 50 cents would be double, 75 would be triple. Wow, pretty nice. However, I did sell some here in case it comes back down. But I'm not freaking out or anything. We're at this point where it's just going to go sideways, up and down. And let's zoom in a bit so that we can see. Had to get rid of some tabs because my mouse starts messing up. When I start screen recording, it gives me an issue. All right, so what have we got going in here? Let's zoom into the 30-minute. Accidentally drawing every time. Okay. Move these around a little. So this was definitely 3 waves, 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 and 3 waves, 1, 2, 3. Now, is this third wave done? Is this 1, 2, 3 done right there? That's what I want to know. Let me delete it for now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this could be a bigger 1, 2, 3. And I think I mentioned this a few minutes ago. Where this would be about as tall as this next one, around maybe 49. Last time I had it to go about 45. That goes to about 49. Now that I'm closer in, I'm getting a little bit more accurate because I can see the waves better. So, of course, I'll get rid of that, because if this happens, then something else is going on, and it might go up to 70, 75. I don't think that this correction is over, but it could be. It could be. I wouldn't be totally shocked if it hit 75, then went above and came back down, retested. If it goes above 75 and then comes back down like this, does something like this, and then comes back down, and then something like that, and then goes back up, that would be going, I think that's what people think is the moon. But that would be if it retests the top and then goes back up. That would be then another buying opportunity. Really. I mean, if it crosses back above that, then you would want to get in for the next wave up. But when this retests, but it could come back crashing down. But if it goes up, comes back down, has a correction, and then goes back and passes above and makes a new high, then might be off to the races. However, like I was saying in my video yesterday, this up here could be a trap. Remember my count with the big A, B. This could overshoot and still come back down. This could make a new high and trick the people that don't understand, because this is an extended flat. If the B wave comes up higher than the previous high, that still could be an extended flat. And I'm on my eye out for that, just because it could wipe a lot of people out up here. But that'll be a nice time to sell. So what I would probably do, and again, I keep disclaimering a million times, but what I would probably do is sell the majority up there. If it gets above 70, I would probably be selling, because of whatever, all the stuff I bought, you know, at all these dips down here, I would be selling. And then if it came back down and then rocketed again, I would just get back in. But I'm gonna be watching for this to come crashing back down, if any of this happens. Now, we're too early to tell, because we're all the way down here at 36 again. So then what you can do in the meantime is you can possibly trade the RSI, which is this up here. This is the RSI. And how do you trade that? Well, you look for an opportunity when it's going up like right there. Right here, came down. This is the oversold. So underneath that line is probably where you want to buy. Probably like right there, right there, right there. That's when you at least, you don't have to buy then, but that's at least when you start taking a look. But see right here how it dipped down to 38, but then the next one dipped down all the way to 20. Wow. That is a whole 18 cents. I mean, that's almost half. So if you bought too much on that first dip and it came down again, that might have been a scary moment. I know, because I was watching while that happened. So those are the buy opportunities, even right there, although it came all the way up to here. But then you could have gotten out on the short term. Ooh, just barely went up right there. That would have been the short trade. Or this long, if you're going long and waiting till this comes all the way back up, but this still might go back down. So you can trade those on the shorter time frame. Right now I'm on the 30-minute looking at, but you can do that on the shorter time frames. That way you can get out sooner. But if you're swing trading and waiting for the big swings, you might have got in down there and hoping for it to, this B wave to go up. If you got in around 20 cents and it still comes back down to 15, that's not that bad still. So as long as you weren't all in right there, but if you were all in right there, like I think I may have been, then you could be getting out little by little, getting out, selling, getting out, selling, getting out, selling like this. So here was where it came up. It didn't even go above there, but if you were just being extra safe, you could have taken some profit there. But now is when it's really starting to finally get over bought up there on the RSI on the 30-minute. Now as we change time frames, this changes. We go to 15-minute. So it was up a little right there, right there. So if you're trading a certain time frame, stick to that time frame. Like if you bought right here on the 15-minute, it did go above up here. And again right there. So you could have bought right there, bought a little more right there, bought a little more right here. See how I'm looking at the RSI and not the price? And then up here, you could have sold a little there, sold a little next time, sold a little on the next one. And obviously that was the best time to sell, but it came above the RSI 3 times first. Now this way is not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good way, but it's not always perfectly, you could still lose money. Nothing is perfect. You're still a human and you still have to pull the trigger when it comes time. So that can make it difficult. But now we're finally getting back in the RSI to the overbought. So that's why I sold some. Let's go to the 5-minute. All right, well, I definitely see 3 waves up. But is this done? Or are we in the middle right there? That's the question. So every time this pops up above the RSI, I'm just taking little bits of profit. As you can see, it poked above right there and it was only 34. So I waited for it to get above that line, but that was just my trade. And then a little bit, sold a little bit there, sold a little bit there, sold a little bit there. Ooh, I didn't quite get the very peak, but now we're coming down, but is that 3 wave over, or is this, oops. How many times have I done that during this? Okay, or is this still going up like this? Like I keep measuring, this wave is about that tall. So this wave is going to be about that same height, and it already made it that high. So that very well could be done. Even though it looks like this Y wave was shorter, it wasn't. That's an optical illusion just because I'm looking at the price, the height, not how, see, this was more of a slope, but this wave went up higher actually. So that could have been the top of that for now. And again, I'm uncertain because, not because I'm unsure of myself, it's because when you're in the middle of an Elliott wave correction, you have to be careful when to call it. To say, oh, that was the end. Well, that might not have been the end. That could have been, but I've been deliberating that in my last several videos, and every time it's because I don't think that B wave, if that was an A, B, C, the B wave didn't come up high enough. So I think this is still going. It's either going to come back down for a Z wave or come rocketing up for a B wave. And those aren't the only two options, but those seem like the two most probable. If you have a third count that's different, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for all the feedback. I appreciate the thumbs up and all the subscribers recently. I'm plowing forward. I'm doing videos every day because I'm trying to get monetized. I've only got 400 or 500 more hours of watch time that I need, which sounds like a lot, actually. Usually takes me about a month to get that many, but we've been getting a lot more views. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any relevant places to share this, like a cryptocurrency group you're in, or a Dogecoin group you're in, or an Elliott wave group that you might be in online, please share this, and it would help out the channel a lot. Because the third, someone else sharing it is always better than me sharing it. Because, when you share your own videos, people just think, oh, you're just self-promoting. But if someone else shares it, people go, ooh, a Doge video. So sometimes it can be very powerful if someone else shares this, and I appreciate that when people do. So thank you so much if you have been sharing it. Thank you if you've been liking and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, the people that have been giving me suggestions on what they think might be going on, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day on purpose, and trust nature and live alkaline.